guys, this is my Swiss meringue buttercream, and I just want you to see what it looks like before I do my little trick to get it nice and smooth. You can see the air bubbles in there. Right there, they're all over the place. And this is what will make your frosting difficult to work with. You need to get rid of those air bubbles. So what I do is transfer it to a bowl, stick it in the microwave on defrost. That's really important to do it on defrost. And you microwave it in 5-second increments on defrost, and you got to make sure you stir in between each one. And you just continue to do that as many times as it takes. It makes your frosting so smooth. It gets rid of all the air bubbles. But it's really important that it's on defrost. You don't want to melt your frosting. You just want to soften it, and that will get rid of the air bubbles. So after I finish doing that, I will show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I just finished microwaving my frosting on defrost in 5-second increments. It was a pretty large batch, so I had to do it for quite a while. But anyways, it's so much smoother now. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a ton less air bubbles in there. And when I go to frost my cake, it's just going to be so much easier to frost and get a smooth finish on my cake since I've done this. I wouldn't recommend skipping this step because this is a game changer. This is how I get all my cakes so smooth. All right. Okay guys, I'm done with my frosting, and I have a freshly crumb coated cake. This is just a 6-inch 3-layer cake. I just had some extra layers in my freezer, so I just decided to use them just for this tutorial. And we're gonna start frosting. This frosting is really soft right now because we just did the whole defrost trick in the microwave, so if it plops onto the cake board, I'm sorry, that's common. I have this sitting on a 10-inch cake board, but there's also a 6-inch cake board underneath the cake. I always do that. I always have a cake board the same size as the cake underneath my cakes. I don't know why I do it. I've just always done it that way. And I know this looks like a lot of frosting, guys, but we're going to scrape a bunch of this off, so don't worry. All right. So how I smooth my cakes is I move the turntable. I don't move the cake scraper. I actually move the turntable and keep my cake scraper steady. And I probably could have microwaved this for a little bit longer on defrost the frosting because I do see some air bubbles, but it's fine. We can always fix that. It's just a lot easier to work with if your frosting's already smooth. And you just go in and fill those in, those little spots. Sometimes I can see little air bubbles in the cake, and I just take a toothpick, poke a hole in it to release the air. I am going to put some more frosting on this side because you want your frosting to push up over the edge of the cake. So I'm just going to put some more right here and go around so we can push that frosting up. You want a nice edge on your cake. You want to push that frosting up. Also, guys, if it's, you know, you just want to get it as perfect as you can like this, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because we are going to work with it after the cake is chilled in the refrigerator. That's one of my little tricks that I wanted to show you guys. It's a lot easier to work with buttercream when it's chilled. It's almost kind of like, you want to think like clay, like you can mold it, make it do what you want to do, and it's a lot easier to do that if it's firm. Alright, we're going to leave it like that and let it chill in the refrigerator, and then once it's completely chilled, I will come back and show you what the next step is. I don't have room in my freezer. It's packed to the brim in there, or else I would just pop it in the freezer for 15 minutes, but unfortunately I have to use my refrigerator, so I'll be back in about half an hour. Okay, we're back, guys. So to get this top flush with the cake, I can do it either two ways. I could have either pulled it in with my scraper before I chilled it, or what you can do is leave it there, chill your cake, and then cut this off. It's firm, so obviously you can only do this if the cake is chilled and the frosting is firm. And you just go around your cake and cut this off with a sharp knife. I am going to go around the cake and do this, and then I'll be back once that's done. Okay guys, I went around the top of the cake and cut that off. Now your frosting's smooth, or sorry, your frosting's firm. You want to go around with your cake scraper and just take it on the firm cake and smooth out any imperfections you see. Just go around the cake again while it's firm. And as you see, I'm scraping off very little buttercream, and that's good. It's just smoothing out anything on there that might need to be smoothed. It's very little buttercream, if you can see that. And you can do this as many times as you want to until you get it perfect. If the frosting starts to firm up, you just put it back in the refrigerator until it gets firm again. And as you can see, we've already got a pretty nice and smooth cake. There's a couple spots on here. There's a little spot on here that needs to be filled in. It's better to do this when the frosting is firm. You just take a tiny bit of frosting, put it on there. As you can see, I did right there. And then take your scraper and go over it. Completely smooth out the frosting, so that hole is gone. For the top, what I like to do is go around the top like this until it kind of pushes up a little bit. You can see some frosting coming off. So there's like a little edge that's sticking up over the top. And I go back in with my scraper. Very lightly, just pull it in. Over and over again. I've got the hot water on my sink and a clean dish towel that I'm wiping my scraper off with after I hold it underneath the hot water. Just so I don't have to keep scraping the frosting off the scraper. I can just wash it off underneath the hot water. I'm going to go around again, push that lip up. Okay, so what I have here is just canned frosting. You find it next to the box cake mix at the grocery store. Any white color is fine. This is Pillsbury. I get whatever's cheapest, to be honest. You put some in a little bowl. You color it what color you want. We're going to do green today. I always color it first because the microwave deepens the color. So it's a good idea to color it first, and then the microwave will deepen it. You just give that a good mix. It's nice and green. I'm gonna pop this in the microwave. I'll be right back. Okay guys, it's out of the microwave. Just so you can see, that is about the consistency you want it. You want it on the thicker side rather than the thinner side. So I'm gonna transfer this to my squeeze bottle and then we'll start dripping. Okay guys, you just want it thick enough to where it just runs down your squeeze bottle. You can always warm it back up in the microwave if it's too thick, but it's definitely better and it turns out prettier, I think, if it's thicker rather than thinner when you drip it. And I kind of just drag it along here. This is really a foolproof method as far as drips go. I used to do ganache, but as you know, white chocolate ganache is very fickle and you have to have it just right, otherwise your drips are gonna look awful. But this, the drips turn out perfect every time. All right, there we go. And there are your beautiful drips. See if you can actually see the color. There you go. Perfect. So anyways, guys, this is my first time making a tutorial. I apologize on how long it is and also for any editing errors there might be, and also for it taking so long. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Have a good night.